Joelle, thank you so much for being here and being one of our panelists today. I'm going to ask you some questions about, your experiences, being a patient. Tell me a little bit about your life before treatment.
My life before treatment. I was a basically happy person, working hard, having considerable success. I'm the person, I don't know if you were in the room when I was talking, but I'm the person that took over 24 years, almost like 28 years before I was correctly diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
And my symptoms were constant insomnia, waking up not refreshed, even when I did sleep, not waking up refreshed, foggy headedness, dragging, cloudy thinking, not able to make good judgment calls, just not, and my normal brain pattern before all that was sharp, fast, acute. And so it was pretty miserable. It was a long, long
Journey.
search.
So when you finally got diagnosed and started getting treated,
Mm-hmm.
how did your life change then after treatment?
Well, I don't think you could make a black and white curtain that easily. I don't think that addresses the situation, because I think the question is really when you were properly treated. Other than beyond when you're diagnosed, then when you're treated, but then when you were properly treated, because there's a big arc
Mm-hmm.
that makes that difference. So, and I'm going to take you through the steps of the arc because I think it's important for people to know. My diagnosis was with an HMO, and I was tossed into a room of 12, 15 men and a DME company, and just me, I was the only woman. And we saw training videos, and they were showing the guys, everyone, how to work on their machines. Mine was the only machine that was a standalone. It didn't match any of the other machines. And during the video, I fell asleep. I found that the inadequate DME companies, because of people who aren't trained to do the job, made it really tough because there's no one to ask questions to.
Mm-hmm.
So I would honestly say that I floundered for the first, let me count. For the first 5 years of treatment, I floundered because I went through all these different mask styles. None of them were right. I had multiple DME companies. I added it up once. I've been on a program for 12 years, and I went through 9 different durable medical equipment companies. And in the last 2 years, 3 of them alone. I mean, I kept changing durable medical. And that makes a difference on whether or not you're getting fitted correctly,
Correct.
the right equipment, instruction, etc. So it wasn't until about 2010, 4 or 5 years after my diagnosis, that I finally found a technician, a DME technician that answered my questions, made sure I had the right mask, recommended the right mask, the right fit, told me how to clean my thing. It was night and day.
Nice.
And as soon as I had that right information, then I started sleeping.
Got it.
And started feeling better.
Okay.
And had more energy, and was just so grateful.
Different.
Grateful.
Well, you've already touched on this question, but maybe you want to give us more details. What has worked and not worked for you?
Really good question. The wrong machines don't work. And when I say the wrong machines, I was first issued a real clunker that was no longer manufactured, did not have a humidifier, and did not have a heated humidifier. I had to keep changing and going up in grade, so I don't know how I stumbled into it. Maybe I just fell into it. But I eventually graduated from an ordinary, real bad machine to a machine that had a humidifier. And then I realized I was drying up, sneezing, coughing, miserable. Then I graduated a heated humidifier. And then someone finally put me on a heated humidifier with a heated hose. All that. By the time I get through that, I mean, we're talking about 8 years or something before all that happened. Finally, I get the care I need. Okay, so the wrong equipment didn't work. And the same with the masks. I had 24 different masks. I kept a spreadsheet. I kept all my masks in a big container because I didn't want to make a mistake and get a repeat mask.
Correct.
I wanted to be able to answer when the doctor or the DME says, okay, we'll give you this one. I'll say, no. So what worked was me educating myself, keeping detailed records, and putting my foot down and refusing.
Okay. So with that in note, what sort of advice would you give folks about sleep apnea order treatment?
A first note would be get as much information you can from your friends and peers. Anybody who you think has sleep apnea or told you had sleep apnea. I would start with peer information before you even go to the doctor. Because once you walk into the doctor's office, you're in this strange world where they think they know everything and don't necessarily listen, and I don't know when they were trained last. I know that people that were trained more recently have better information and are better equipped to serve the patient. Also, to be able to keep detailed records of your symptoms, because you may overlook a symptom. That's why there's symptoms that are unexpected. Today, people in the room were talking about, postpartum depression and sleep apnea. I mean, I would have never thought about that. I would have never thought about that. And talking about bladder control and sleep apnea, or they were talking about disturbing their friends or sleep partners or something. All of that, you need to have the full list. So you walk into your first doctor's appointment with a full impact list. And then I really would question who the doctor is. Where were you trained? How many years? And check the doctor out on Yelp or wherever, whatever service you use, to see whether or not people think that doctor listens. And is that doctor young enough that his information is current? Right. Her information is current. Let's fix that. And don't assume that the doctor will know the right equipment or be able to write the right script. Challenge the doctor, everything. I hear that it's best for me to get a CPAP machine that has a humidifier that is heated with a heated hose right from the beginning, because otherwise there's non-compliance. All those people who talk about keeping a CPAP machine in the closet because they aren't comfortable, well, they probably weren't given the right equipment or right size, mass, or right fitting to begin with.
Correct.
So let's eliminate all of that. And the other thing I would say is know that if you're diagnosed and you go through your sleep tests and you're compliant, this is your medicine. It's the best medicine you can have. You're saving your life, and you're saving the lives of people around you, because you're not a hazard. And people will like you if you don't make noise in the house. And it's good for all of us, for society. You'll be more productive, more creative, more happy, more participational.
Correct. Any other comments you want to add?
Yes. I think it's really important for the sleep apnea patients to form a strong community, an integrated community of advocates. I think anybody who has sleep apnea would be better served if they didn't keep silent about it, but announced and revealed they had sleep apnea. We have sleep apnea, I have sleep apnea, and why, what my symptoms are, and then advocate for better health evaluations, better diagnostics, better equipment, better medications, should medications be sedative, better training on the doctors, for the doctors, better training and requirements of durable medical equipment companies. I'm really a stickler about that. I want my durable medical equipment provider to have been, I want she or he to go to school and to come out with a certificate that proves that he or she had accomplished something, and take tests and be challenged, and not just, assume that he or she's a driver and delivers something. Yeah. I want skill, and I would like regulation, and I would like to see that there is a minimum standard nationwide, not regionally, not by state, but nationwide minimum standard. And the equipment, I would like innovation. I don't believe there's been much innovation in the 12 years I've been doing this. I think that the durable medical equipment providers know they have a trapped audience, and that they will sell to us and make money regardless. And I think that's the wrong attitude. I think they would benefit from taking on the mission that they are our partners in helping us, if we can't cure it, at least live with it comfortably, and that we're not just numbers selling things to them. But I would like them to take on the obligation of being not a healthcare provider that makes a difference in people's lives, instead of, oh yeah, we'll make another $1.
Yep.
So I want to see innovation. I want to see new equipment. I want to see custom designed masks We have that technology. It's here. So one of the things I'm very concerned about is the lack of innovation in durable medical equipment, particularly the masks that we're given. And I find that the durable medical equipment companies are really lazy. You know, they're making money on their existing patents. They're not motivated to be our partners to help make our lives better. They're just wanting to take our money and then do the least possible. And I find it really objectionable because right now the technology is available from other disciplines, other professions, other skill sets that can customize masks for everybody that has sleep apnea. And it should be no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a huge well of opportunity here that's being untapped. So let me give you an example. So in the entertainment industry, if I wanted a monster mask made to my face, customized for my face, I know where to go. I could go to one of the special effects place. I could put on this netting see-through thing with the little dots, sit in front of a green screen. They could photograph me, do a 3D digital plane of my whole head, precise
Mm-hmm.
measurements everywhere on my face and my upper head. They would peel that off, put it through their computers. It could generate some sort of a blueprint, which would go into a 3D printer and cut a mask. I could walk out with a foam mask I could wear all day long. It'll allow me to move anywhere I want, allow me to breathe. It would be perfectly planed for my face and comfortable. This technology's here. Why aren't they using it now? Why aren't they using this face mapping with 3D printing to customize a mask for me and everybody else? Then we wouldn't have these issues about people not wearing their masks, not being comfortable. None of this. It would all go away.
Yeah.
We would all have our own dedicated masks. So that's what I want to say. I want these durable medical equipment manufacturers, to wake up and realize there's a deeper opportunity for even more prosperity if they become our partners and want to help us make a better, healthier community rather than keep us as victims that they suck money from.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Anything else you want to add?
What else did you like me to say?
No,
Tanya,
you
know
did
me and what a
great.
loudmouth
You
I
did
am.
great. No, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it.
I'm really glad you guys are doing this. I feel like, a forgotten patient.
No,
And this is
never.
really very important what you're doing.
I'm glad. Thank